And good evening, my friends. It is 9 o'clock on a Friday. Happy Friday. On August the 16th, 2024. We made it. We survived another week, didn't we all? So, hope you guys are doing okay, staying safe, working hard, and basically staying true to yourselves. That's the main thing that counts. And happy Friday again. Woohoo! We made it. Another one. And the time to relax. Not for all of us, but some of us anyway. So I'm getting better now. I look better after the horror of the problems of more racism and harassment and sexual harassment and coercion and so forth. As you guys know, I was not doing so well early on in the week, and I was a wreck due to an incident last on the 7th at that grocery store I mentioned. And I still yet to see a lawyer about that. And we're going to go through with it for sure, 100% for sure, definitely. But anyways, on top, aside from that, today was a whopper of a hot day, plus 35 with the humidex, plus the air quality was very poor. And it has been poor the past few days. So it affected me the past 2 days. But today I trudged through it and went all over town collecting cans. With my handy new bus pass, I got and transferred the information onto the new one. Woo! So there's no problem there, going wherever I want, whenever I want. Because the bus pass is registered. And if I lose this new one, just get $4 for a new one and transfer it to the new one. That's it. That's all. There's no problem with that then. So I'm very happy to have my bus pass back and be able to travel wherever and whenever I want. Cheers to that. Okay, so we're going to celebrate with a Molson Dry. With all my hard work today, collecting cans in this crazy heat and the bad air quality. Early on in the afternoon, I was dizzy, had a headache, and I thought I was going to fall over once or twice, so I took a break in the air conditioning mall because the air quality is horrible and affected me badly. The heat was bad and so forth. So I did not dare go on my bike. I do not want to fall down sideways on my bike with a dizzy spell. So I decided just to bus around in the air conditioning here and there, go out, collect some cans here and there, and get on the bus, air conditioning, so forth and so forth. I took the O train down to Bayview around after lunch at about 12, just before around 12:30 at the Bayview O station. I got off and I walked down the pathway toward the new pathway where the railroad tracks are. And I was racially, verbally abused racially again just after lunch. I was walking down the path. Some cyclists went by and someone went by. But after that, no one was around. There was a woman and a man somewhere in the bushes, obviously. And she was yelling with a strong French accent, "Indigenous prostitute," to me. Now, I was walking in my cargo pants. I'll show you exactly what I was wearing. Wearing my cargo pants, wearing my walking shoes and everything like that. with my sunglasses too. And she called me an indigenous prostitute. And the most hilarious thing of all, these two were in the bushes. Obviously, they were not smoking weed because everyone smokes weed in public. They were not smoking crack because everyone smokes in public and there are no cameras in the area anyway. So, in my opinion, it seems like the prostitute was with a John in the bushes and yelling that toward me, when she seems most likely to have been the prostitute with a John. Why would they be in the bushes yelling that at me? No one hides in the bushes anymore to smoke weed. No one hides in the bushes anymore to do crack even or meth. Everyone does it open, it seems like. But these two were hiding in the bushes, and a guy was muttering at her something. I'm not sure what he was saying to her, but it's kind of obvious. Sexual favors were being exchanged in those bushes. So I and the prostitute, indigenous prostitute, walking down, and this person yells that at me in the bushes with a man. Well, obviously something very suspicious was going on there. It seems to me you got confused, girlfriend. Seems she was the one who had a John. I mean, come on. That was the most pathetic, racist remark I've heard. I was kind of scared I might be jumped or attacked at first because no one was around. So I walked pretty fast. So I don't know what that was about, but something very suspicious was going on in those bushes there. I don't know what the hell, but I kind of walked fast. I didn't want to be jumped, but I don't know. Seems like they were doing something more suspicious in the bushes than me walking innocently by and yelling at me that I was an indigenous prostitute when it seemed something very suspicious was going there on in the bushes right there. Around 12:30ish, I say Bayview area. There's a little train station there, and then there's a little pathway going down um, toward the pathway going down to War Museum, and the choice to the bridge, and another way down toward Tunney's Pasture and Westboro and so forth. They're just right around, just after that, in the bushes there. I hope they got poison ivy or poison oak, those two idiots, because they'll probably be there itching right now if that happened. Morons. That was the start of my day anyway. Two morons, racist idiots, which is too laughable right now. Just too laughable, and the stupidest racist who probably have poison oak and poison ivy on the skin right now. It's just too funny. It's pathetic. But the weather was very hot. I did not make much money. I did not. There was no blue bin day today anywhere. So I basically went to the spots where people tend to drink and leave the cans behind. There was nothing in that area. It was all gone. I managed to get a bunch downtown in the downtown core from people who unfortunately tend to mingle with violent people. But one of them is in jail now for something very serious, apparently. The main one who caused me trouble and was very violent toward me. That person is no longer in the picture. So, but they all gave me a hug. They all gave me a bunch of their cans, and when I went back to cash them, they gave me a bunch more of their cans. I also got more cans and so forth, other places, like places where people drink and they leave them behind in certain areas. So I did that. But it was so hot. I got dizzy. I got a headache. I thought I was going to pass out a couple of times. So I had to take a break in the mall in Quebec just to relax, have some water, stay in the air conditioning for about 15 minutes. I'm so glad I did not cycle today because I would have just wumped over my bike and passed out possibly from the heat. And I was not feeling well 2 days ago from that heat and the bad air on top of that. Do not do me any favors. And I'm glad to have my beer after a hard day's work. And was it ever a hard day's work? Working in this heat. I really do not know how construction workers manage to do that, but yeah. But those two people in the bushes there are the stupidest racists I have seen so far. Stupid. It's really sad that that happened. And yeah, something very suspicious is going on there in the bushes, obviously, with those two. They probably have poison oak or ivy and they're itching, they're all over. Serves them right, calling me indigenous prostitute when they're doing something very sexually suspicious in the bushes. Pathetic. But anyways, on top of that, I talked to a lot of people about predators and so forth, and how we watch our backs and be careful these days. It is not the same at all 20 years ago. You could walk all the way one end of town to the other here without the danger of being harassed or have someone yell some racial remark toward you or discrimination toward you or some form of violence toward you or something, you know. That is all too common now due to the drug crisis, the OD crisis, and so forth. It was a big, big mistake to legalize the drug use in the first place. If they never did that, none of this would be happening. The OD crisis probably would not be as it is. The harassment and discrimination and so forth will not be at the height as what it is now. Like it's like it's like spilling oil into water, a lake or something. You think it's going to help, but it is very hard to get out of the lake again. You know, same kind of concept. It's very hard to stop this after the damage has been done, and it is very hard for people to for this to be rectified now. The damage is done. How are we going to fix this problem now? Like the thing is, sex trafficking is on the rise too, as well. Unfortunately, there was this person on the bus early on. He was harassing me, saying he's a good person and everything. I got on the bus to try to ignore him. He went in the back of the bus, talking to someone on the phone, saying that something about me being a prostitute, and saying, yeah, she's on the bus now, pink cap, she's a prostitute, she's an ecstasy and everything. Lie, 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 lie. So what I did, I turned around, got my phone toward him. I said, can you move over, please, miss? And he saw me take a picture of him. I said, you stop harassing me. You stop talking to your friend about me, that I do these things when I do not. I'm going to go to bus trouble right now and report you if you keep this up. So what he did basically is like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. He hurriedly got off the bus. And when I got off the bus, the cops were behind the bus, thank God. But this guy is creepy. He was very, very, very creepy and predatory, let's put it that way. He was very predator-like. For one thing, when someone says they're a nice person, my neighbor even said the same thing, that I'm a good person, but she's into drugs, having people smoke drugs in her place. That, in my opinion, is not a good person. A good person tries to get him off drugs, tries to get him a job, tries to rectify the problem. A good person does not immerse in it or enable it or seduce them into it. These people who say, I'm a good person, predators say that. Pimps say that. Drug runners say that. Drug dealers say that. They all say the same thing usually. That is like the oldest line in the book, you know, which is very, very, very sad. But yeah. I'm just glad there are people, even though when they have problems, there are people who have violence, and there are people who are racist, and there are people who are predatory. like predators, those are the people to watch out for. But there are people with addiction problems. There are people who hang around iffy people sometimes. We all have problems, let's put it that way. And I'm very thankful to people downtown core, not the violent ones, but the ones who have problems. And without the violent ones, they're pretty okay. I got hugs. They gave me a bunch of their cans. I said, I'm going to go cash them. I come back for round two. We'll have a bunch for you later. Then I came back and they gave me more cans, gave me hugs. And I didn't want to hang around them and drink with them because if someone bad comes along, it would escalate and so forth. These people are a good lot, but I don't want to hang there and drink with them. So I just said, thank you so much for the cans. And we all gave each other hugs. And then I moved on my way. And that's the way it should be. It's not a good idea for me to hang out with them and tell them my sob story and so forth, as things could escalate and so forth with them drinking, and someone might come along who might be violent, who might be an instigator, or some problem could arise, a potential violent problem possibly too as well. Even though it's a public place, it is kind of risky, but these people are okay. There are other people who are not okay and very potentially violent, which is not cool at all. And someone has died as a result of that problem. How to solve these problems downtown is very, very complex and not easy at all. It's just not easy. Like, that was really nice of them to give me all the cans. We all had hugs and everything. But you never know when someone who might come along, who might cause trouble, cause violence, and be a disturber of everything, or try to pick a fight with somebody. Or try to upset you by making very harassing, verbally hurtful remarks and so forth. That's another thing too, which would gaslight somebody too as well. But it was nice of them to give me the cans, so I left. Hugs and everything, all that. I said, please stay safe. And I said, you guys stay safe, keep hydrated in this heat. And then I went on my way. That was a very good thing for them to do for me. And I felt good when I left after that. So we have to take care of each other. There is racism there. One time I went around that group, there was another guy. He kept calling me basically a whore. That whore over there. And all these things saying that all this BS. Like, I heard he was pointing at me, calling me a whore, and he was hanging around them. And some of them believed him and defended him and told me to F off because of this guy. Reminds me of my ex. But I didn't see him there tonight, which is good. And like I said with my other video, how some of these predators, pimps, and human traffickers, they tend to predaturize people, offer people drinks, get them drunk, and then they try to turn people against each other or badmouth a good person who know who they are or something, or just want to isolate people by keeping away from people and get them into the control. They start by being nice to them, buy them drinks. And then they pretend to hang out with the whole gang. Eventually, sooner or later, they isolate that person from them, or depending who they have in the control, they turn them against someone who is good, against prostitution and human trafficking, like me. And those are the facts about some situations. Like, there's also case some people just being plain jealous because of some lies and gossip and so forth or whatever. But there's all kinds of situations where lies are spread, predators isolate people and spread lies, and this plain jealousy and so forth. There are also some groups of people downtown who absolutely refuse to keep people who smoke crack away from them. Cheers to those people. And you guys know who you are. Like, there's some people who smoke crack, and there are groups downtown. The groups I know refuse to let them into the group. That's very safe because fentanyl crisis can come from a pipe. One time I was with these other people, not this group, but another group. Um, and I was just hanging out with them. There was one girl who was kind of ignoring comments and asking who she was, and she was new. All of a sudden, she got a pipe out and started smoking it. All of us just kind of moved away from her right away. Because if someone has fentanyl in a pipe and they puff it out, and you get one whiff of it, you can get a whiff of fentanyl. So you never saw all of us take off away from her so fast. Like it was worse than a virus, like a fire explosion, which is a safe thing to do. The other one of the other ones, we tried to tell her to go away and leave us alone, moved away in the corner. We don't want you here. We don't want any crack here, nothing like that. She totally ignored them and kept smoking the pipe. Well, these people generally conjugate. And these people just drink. They smoke weed. They do not want people who smoke crack there, which is a good thing. So one of them, in an attempt to get rid of her, grabbed her purse and threw it across away from him. Like, go get your purse, get away from us. Others said, no, don't do that, bro. That's not too cool. Just stay away from her. But at least they keep the crackheads and the meth heads away from the group, which is very dangerous fentanyl poisoning. One puff of that, bang, you can die. And the group where I was talking to, they don't allow any of those people there in those groups as well, which is very cool. Which brings me the reminder of those people in the bushes call me an indigenous prostitute in the bushes. We're not doing drugs since it's openly acceptable anywhere. We're not smoking weed. They were having sex in the bushes. Now it seems to me in those bushes was a prostitute and a John. So come on, give me a break at those two idiots to start off the day. That's still a place to make fun of two idiots. Those are the stupidest racists in the world. But yeah. Like as for my neighbors giving me a hard time, um, I was very upset about the incident at Grocery Store A. I'm still going to see Laura, like I said, about the situation. And yeah. Hey there, Starlight. How you doing? Happy Friday. Oh, yeah. Hope you're having a good day so far. It's been a good day overall. I'm just talking about how my day was and so forth. The heat here is unbearable and the air is not too good, but so far I feel good. That's the main thing that counts. Yeah. So I just forgot what I was just saying. That's the age and the stress and so forth. But the main thing is I was talking about the grocery store A. I am going to see a lawyer about that and pursue that. And I like making people laugh. Humor is very very good. But besides the neighbors starting up again with the harassment and sexual harassment and coercion and so forth, I always spoke to the OCH support workers at the community breakfast. For two more of them came down who were troublemakers. Well, one of them was troublemaker with the other one, and so forth. But the only came briefly. It was a very good morning. It was very humorous. It was a good comical morning. Actually, funny things happened. We had laughs and so forth. But it was good. I was so tired that morning, that Thursday morning. I was just tired and, just zonked out. But yeah, there are good people out there. We all have problems. We all have addictions. Alcohol, drugs, smoking, Facebook, YouTube, maybe even filing. Who knows what kind of addiction we may have? But everyone is addicted to something, obviously. So yeah, I'm real tired. And by the way, I do not need a man to coerce me to buy me beer. The neighbor downstairs, you want a beer? Then try to sexually coerce you? Nope. F off, MF. I'm an independent woman. All women independent? No, we independent. I am anyway. I may make peanuts, cotton cans, and bottles, but at least I have enough to buy my own beer. When these guys buy you beer, sexually coerce a woman, and when you don't give in or obey them, they threaten to leave you. They make you feel like a piece of garbage. They threaten to go with somebody else or whatever. That is sexual abuse right there. Believe me, girls. Anyone who wants to go out, like say to an event or do something special, and they try to make you feel guilty. Let's say you have to go to work or you have to do something next morning, and they want to have they try to pressure you sexually, of course you sexually, and you refuse. Or if you want to go home to your place, stay the night with them because you have things to do. And if they try to make you feel guilty and tell you not to come back, for instance, or say they're going to see your neighbor down the hall, or go with somebody else or whatever, that is a low life controlling piece of garbage. That is sexual coercion. That is sexual harassment. Believe me, I know. Because X did that with me, with the neighbor down the hall. So yeah, no one needs to be controlled. If the guy is a good guy, do not hold you down. And if you say no to sex, they won't make you feel guilty. They won't tell you F off. They won't threaten to go see someone else. They will say, okay, honey, this is okay. We'll sleep. And they will cuddle you. They will not make you feel like a piece of garbage. If they don't do that, believe me, that is sexual coercion and that is sexual harassment and sexual abuse. That is abuse, plain and simple. So, yeah. So, I'm proud to be independent. I do not need a man. I was talking to my friend who works at the bookstore downtown at Laredo Street. He's gay, but I know him for many, 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 many years. On and off, he's a good guy. We talk and have long talks on and off throughout the years. And yeah, he's strong, I'm strong. And it's good that we have our chats as we do sometimes. He rocks. He's a cool guy. Looking up there in years, we have our problems, but I still think he's a cool, awesome guy. And he still works at that same place. You rock, my friend. You rock. And I really love the conversations we have together. So, yeah. Do not put up with any abuse and the racism, especially from those two idiots early on today near Bayview, about 12, just before 12:30, from the bushes. That was the most laughable thing in the world. It was just crazy. And yeah. So did I want to say? Um, anyways, I feel okay. I feel much better now. I'm going to see Laura about the grocery store A incident, and I am going to pursue. I'm going to pursue. It really did cause emotional pain and suffering, aside from the neighbors there. And next step will be with them. This is absolutely ridiculous. At least in grocery store A, it's all on camera. So 3 charges can be laid right there. I won't say what, but kick their asses to the wall. Grocery store B and C, you guys rock. Mwah. You guys are the most considerate people in Quebec. But yeah, I talked to some people down on everywhere about can collecting and so forth, and about how they get harassed sometimes and so forth. But I guess we'll save that for another stream. It's going to take about an hour to talk about that one. So that's about it for this Friday night. Everyone, take care. Love you guys. Make witch. Stay safe. Watch your back. And stay up for your rights. And if you can, notate and record as much as you can in case some bad incident may happen with you. Love you guys. Happy Friday. Take care. Love you all.